So hello guys, welcome to another episode of Tweet Pe Charcha. This is Maruti Acharya,
I'm Sarah Fazil.
and after a long time we came back together on Tweet Pe Charcha. And today's topic is something important and the most requested on our channel. It is about Hamare Baarah. So yes, we'll start with the current controversy that is happening.
So this movie starring Anu Kapoor, Satya basically, underwent controversy owing to the fact that it was misinterpreting, a certain community's religious beliefs, right? And it was portraying it in a very negative manner as per what people have, maybe who have not even seen the movie are saying or talking about. But after it went under scanner of so much of criticism, the Bombay High Court, jahan pe, this case first was heard, said that after due consideration of going through the trailer of the movie and after going through the case and whatever the petitioner has come and said it's hurting sentiments, we will still go ahead and say that yes, certain dialogues have to be omitted from the movie because it's hurting a certain religion and its beliefs, but we will still go ahead with the release because we are a country which believes in freedom of speech and expression.
Correct.
Now, Hamare Baarah, if you actually see, Satya, it's a movie jahan pe it talks about a certain issue that is facing a family, okay, and who is from a community. I agree, but does it generalize and say that this particular problem is about the entire community? No. Does it border on making any communal statements? No. Misinterpretation? Yes. But it talks about how women should stand up for their rights when it comes to anything, right? Under the sun in a family, they should stand up for their rights and they should fight for it. But how maybe the menfolk of that particular family are not for it. I hope people, got what the title means, right?
Yeah.
Hamare Baarah, Hum Do Hamare Baarah.
Yeah.
Obviously referring to the amount of children over here. And
Correct.
now you get the reference why a certain community is against it.
Let's watch the trailer and we'll also react to what are the problematic elements that cause this outrage.
Yes.
So the idea of Tweet Pe Charcha, like always, is not about my opinion or Sarah's opinion or the opinion of India Today group that we represent. It is in general bringing the discourse, like bringing conversations and opinions of the people in the public forum in the forefront so that people can understand what kind of opinions people in general have in the public forum. So that is the whole idea.
अल-बकरा आयत नंबर 223 में अल्लाह फरमाता है, तुम्हारी औरतें तुम्हारी खेती है, आओ और जिस तरह भी चाहो अपनी मर्जी से इन पर खेती करो और अपने लिए नेक अमल आगे भेजो। आइए,
आज हमारी तबीयत ठीक नहीं है थोड़ी।
हमारी तो 2 दिन पहले खत्म हो चुकी है। औरत अगर हमल की हालत में भी हो और शौहर उसे अपने पास बुलाए तो औरत को ना कहने की इजाजत नहीं है। औरत सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपने शौहर की फर्मा बरदारी के लिए पैदा की गई है, क्योंकि खुदा रबूल इज्जत की तरफ से इस दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा तोहफा मर्द है।
शौहर मजाज पड़ा और मजाज खुदा के खिलाफ जाना कुफ्र है, कुफ्र की सजा है मौत।
Very heavy.
Yeah. It's a very, very serious film.
It is, guys.
औरतें शलवार के नाड़े की तरह होने चाहिए, जब तक अंदर रहेंगी बेहतर रहेंगी।
But do people give speeches like that in general?
Coming to that. Chandra. Alright. First thing that we noticed over here was a verse being quoted from a holy book of a community, right? And I wouldn't want to get personal over here, but hailing from that community, I can say that misinterpreting something without much knowledge about it, A, is wrong, right? Secondly, certain dialogues and the way they have been written and the way they have shown supporting visuals for it have really gone down the wrong way. Which is why we know why is there so much of chaos and why is there so much of controversy. Because if you are going to say कि एक औरत पैजामे के नाड़े की तरह होती है, you know what we're talking about here, right? I'm pretty sure even the public gets it. Or if you're going to say यहाँ पे I think I don't know how many people understood this word called hamal. Hamal means pregnancy in Urdu. So it says that even if you are pregnant and as per the religious beliefs of this community, the wife will still have to go to bed with her husband when he asks her to come. So you know what we're talking over here? So a lot of factually incorrect things have been portrayed here.
Okay, so that is what has caused the
There's a
outrage.
list. There's a list. I'm
There's a
just
list.
pointing out few.
Yeah, and one more thing, because just lack of awareness, let's
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah.
Because we have seen a lot of movies where, you know, Babas are shown in a certain way,
Yeah.
where they are talking provocative things, and we pointed out the problematic parts of it.
Yeah.
But in general, like I asked when we were watching the trailer also, is it purely exaggeration, or people in general, at least even some people, or do in general people talk
Yeah,
like that?
yeah.
Are there people who talk like that?
See, to be honest over there, I will not deny that, like they say, there are black sheeps in every family. Just say, you know, people say there are black sheeps in various religious faiths and beliefs. Like you have dhongi babas, you have dhongi maulanas also. And mind you, when I say dhongi, I mean people, like he said, who have half-baked knowledge.
So there's a scene from Panchayat for all the people who watched it, or for the people who didn't watch it. The context is the Panchayat secretary has been told to put up a poster, like, you know, a
Yeah.
painting across the village saying that 2 children is okay, more than 2 children is bawase. And I think people understand. So it's a bad thing. It's
Correct.
not good in a very attacking way, like
Correct.
on the face. You know, it can offend anybody. So that's the kind of slogan government comes up with to make sure population control is in check in villages, and the kind of outrage that whole slogan receives, and it's a whole episode.
Correct.
And we definitely recommend you to watch it. So my question to you is, so do you really think this amount of, you know, whatever, good, bad, ugly, portraying it that strongly towards one community, will that really, is that the only way to tell a story, or are there sensitive ways also to look at
Correct.
empowering stories rather than
Or let's
offending the
put it this
community?
way. If you have to cover a sensitive topic, and if you have to bring about certain facts about a certain issue which you know might earn a lot of controversy, how would you portray to the audience where
Correct.
you don't end up offending the lot who you're talking about, and you don't end up creating hatred in
Correct.
the other communities who are watching this movie about that particular community? So that is the question.
This
there.
question becomes very important is because there are two things. A, what are we looking at?
Yeah.
Either the people from, because we are talking about Hamare Baarah, one community understanding that it's a problem and encourage and support their women is one way of it. And second way of it is the other communities that exist in the society and showing them that, you know, hey, this is how this community behaves,
Yeah.
and generating hatred. So you see the difference, right? So are you trying to give a message and make sure we lead towards a better society, or are you creating an image to the other communities about us community?
Yes.
So that's why this question is very important. So think about it and mention your opinions in the comments below.
Let's
Yes.
move to the tweets.
Lead actor of Hamare Baarah, Anu Kapoor, asked for police protection. He and other crew members of the film is getting life threats. Those who are threatening him belongs to Jahil Qom.
Yeah, which means uneducated lot.
Okay, so okay. They can't even confront their belief. Okay.
Now there you go. Do you see what I was talking about? So basically, in this tweet, this particular user is just is very outrightly, it seems, trying to portray that whatever has been shown in the movie is the ultimate truth,
Yeah.
right? And I have seen it. And why would the maker show it to me if it was not factually correct? Now that is where we say this becomes very sensitive.
So filed a FIR to CP Kolkata Police on the maker of upcoming movie Hamare Baarah yesterday. We have registered the FIR on local police station also as attached. This movie is prepared to intentionally target the whole Muslim community in India. Kindly go through the FIR. Okay, so we'll show the FIR copy also for all the audience.
Yeah.
Open the FIR copy. The third image.
Actually, I went through this, this
Okay.
tweet, and they've just highlighted what went wrong, sensitive comments, derogatory
Okay.
statements, the verse from the particular religious book that has been misquoted, misrepresented, and everybody has nowhere, if you actually see the overall outrage against the movie, nobody is saying don't make a movie if you want to talk about the empowerment of women. Go ahead and do that. Check how you're making it.
Correct. The Women India movement recently visited the Commissioner of Police office and met joint CP in Thane to file a formal complaint against the film Hamare Baarah. The group expressed concerns about the movie's content, which they believe was harmful and objectionable. Okay.
Now, women did this?
Yeah.
Did you see this, Satya?
Yeah.
What we're seeing here? This movie is about the women of a particular community being shown
Correct.
in the trailer very poorly,
Correct.
or in bad light, or showing how they suffer at the hands of their menfolk,
Correct.
right? On the topic of population control,
Correct.
and how they don't have a right to decide for themselves despite it being their body.
Correct.
And when it's a woman's body or a man's body, we always say, my body, my choice, my right.
Correct.
But here the women going and objecting against it seems a little, for me, it doesn't add up. Because I thought the women folk would rather at least
stay in support.
Yeah, stay in support. Because leave the portions where
Yeah.
they are talking about religion. But what about the portions where they are trying to show that many women in so many households may not have that voice?
Correct. So even with triple talaq also, this is the kind of thing, right? Even though there was so much outrage about it, there were a lot of women who were in favor of that. So that kind of response should be ideally coming from at least with the trailer that we have watched, but here it looks something else.
It looks something else.
Yeah, and another important thing that I felt is, correct me if I'm wrong, subject for correction, but with whatever I've seen the names when the trailer was coming also, it's mostly Hindus. So the kind of research or the kind of role that the people from the community which is being represented in the movie, how much of it is really there, especially because what we see is totally different from what they feel.
Correct.
So you cannot just see what they are going through and interpret that this is what they are going through.
Correct.
So that is another question which is very important, irrespective of which community base the movie is or whatever is the story. Some amount of representation from their side is also equally important to bring the balance in the storytelling. What do you think of this? Hamare Baarah, a powerful movie on women. The film stars Anu Kapoor and popular TV actor Parth Samthan. Is that right?
But he's actually not there in the movie.
Yeah.
He's not there in the movie.
So the person, so you see how people, it's a hearsay that they're doing about the movie. They don't even know whether this actor is there. He's not there.
Okay. So he's making his film debut. That's what he's written. Okay.
We've gone through the entire.
Hamare Baarah is directed by Kamal Chandra and produced by Radhika ji. A powerful movie on women. So one comment which says that this movie is representation of women or giving more power to women. That is the kind of comment that we have seen. So it's not just one directional. There are mixed opinions also. There are people who are in favor of this movie as well. Dear Shashi Tharoor, you supported release of movie Sexy Durga. Now Congress in Karnataka banned movie Hamare Baarah. Waiting for you to say when will Congress government actually support freedom of expression? Will
Now this is getting politicized. Now this is another question that I want to throw to the audience out here. Okay, correct me also if I'm wrong. We always see that how entertainment goes into the hands of politicians or politics, and then it's given a totally different angle to it, and it's politicized obviously for their advantage. Now this is exactly what's happening here as well. Now when people drag politicians or politics into the field of entertainment, it gets dirty. Right? So that is one more question I want to ask you, that if a certain government or a politician or whoever it is supports a certain movie of a particular faith, or doesn't support a movie of a particular faith, does it really mean that we as an audience should actually allow further vilification, of a particular community at the hands of politicians? Will politicians now tell us in the field of entertainment over there what should be allowed and not be allowed? Isn't that in one way targeting your freedom of speech and expression? As an audience, shouldn't it be left to us to decide whether we want to watch a movie or not want to watch it? When I say y'all, I mean even us included in the audience. We are very selective when it comes to outrage over certain issues, right? If it offends my beliefs, I'm against it. Oh, but if it offends my friend's belief or my colleague's belief, I don't care.
Correct.
Now, if that's going to be the nature of viewing every piece of entertainment or content, where are we as a country heading to?
Exactly. As a society, as a humanity, where are we going? So that's my first question for this episode. So as an audience, should I give the right of choosing the movie that I want to watch to somebody? Or should I be given an option where the content exists and I can choose whether I can watch it or not?
Absolutely. When we talk about the freedom of speech and expression in our country, are we being very selective about it to decide what defines that and what goes against it? That is the question that I want to ask you. Is there a selective outrage over the content being made in our country today? Or are we a country, you say, who's welcoming every kind of content? Certain people are just going berserk unnecessarily.
When Kerala Story released, there are people who, like I watched the movie, a lot of people watched the movie. So there are people who told me that this is not, accurate. The information that is being shown in the movie is accurate. Okay. But there are also people who didn't deny the possibility of something similar existing in Kerala also.
Right.
Cinema is a medium. Somebody thought this is worth a story and told. And when you watch it, you get opinions, people talk about it, and then you frame your opinion according to it, whichever direction it is. If you don't make stories at all, if it is not shown So you will not know if it is a problematic thing or not in the first place, don't you think?
Yep. So always don't go and view any piece of entertainment in the form of half-baked knowledge, because that's more dangerous than no knowledge. So before you are going to make any
Are
judgments,
you making a statement?
no, I'm trying to ask them. Now I'm going to ask them. So do you think that before you see a movie from now onwards, are you going to tell yourself that first let me watch, let me see for myself what I feel about it, and probably then join the brigade? Or are you going to be one of the lot who's going to be like, I'm going to join the tribe who's saying, if it's wrong, it's wrong.
Correct.
Blind.
Blind.
This note, let us know, apart from commenting on this particular episode of us, what next should be Tweet Pe Charcha.
Yes. With that, like, share, subscribe, please. Yaar, it took a lot of effort
Please, yes.
to make these kind of videos. You know, we go through a lot of public bashing also,
Right.
but still we do that. Why? Because we want to keep the conversations on, because we are looking for a better society.
Chai to banta hai.
Chai to banta hai, yeah.
I'm
Today's-
Sarah Fazil.
And this is Maruti Acharya, and you're watching India Today So South.